We always hate to see two legends beef. A few weeks ago, Michael Blackson would reveal that Katt Williams had taken offense when Blackson said Katt smoked crack while being interviewed on Drink Champs. The two comedians recently appeared together in an episode of Wild 'N Out, where Katt would return the favor by dishing out several insults towards Blackson. After Blackson tweeted what had happened at the Wild 'N Out taping, he would apologize on Twitter and clarify what he meant. Well, it appears that Katt has subliminally responded via social media. On Instagram, Katt would caption a post, "It's still on site, FYI. If they said it, we heard it, that energy." Similarly, Kevin Hart has just revealed his long-standing ending beef with Mike Epps, which has us hoping that Katt Williams and Michael Blackson can do the same thing. Today we have our Comedy Hype analysts, Yamanika Saunders and Pierre, calling to the show to give their thoughts and reactions. But first, let's take a look at this clip. Now, as I mentioned, this is all an assumption that a lot of people in the comments are making, saying, this is Katt responding to Blackson. So, Pierre, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts? And also, do you agree that, Katt Williams should feel away about Blackson's previous comments about him smoking crack?
Well, first of all, you start off with saying you don't like when two comic legends, fight against each other. Well, remember me and Gary Owen, we got into it. But then again, you did say two legends. Okay. So let me see. Hold on. Shut up back there. Quiet. Quiet back there. Man, we was talking all back there. All right, sorry. Look, the way they feel about what should Katt feel the way he feels? Who's to say? Someone said something that I didn't really do, I'd be pissed off too. If I don't smoke crack and you telling people I'm smoking crack, come on, man. In jest or not, some things go further. We recently had comics talking about people crackhead and dope heads and stuff. If they're not really that, then I would be pissed off. You label me something that I'm not. Now some people move in silence and don't say nothing about it. Well, Katt don't move in silence. Katt's gonna say, hey, that ain't what I don't do it, and I feel a certain way. We can't say what Katt should feel and how he should feel about someone calling him a crackhead.
Absolutely. Now, over the years, I do want to know that Katt has denied doing any hardcore drugs. But Yamanika, let me bring you into this. What are your thoughts? Do you think Katt should, feel away about the previous comments that Blackson has made?
I think instantly as comedians, sometimes we feel some kind of way because we are it's a business that we're in. We're constantly making jokes, so we're always on guard that other people may or may not be making jokes about us, and you never know the person's intention. I think if it's something that you're very sensitive about, then it'll affect you harder. Listen, people joke on me all the time about my weight, my beauty level. Those are things that I understand I can't take on. I'm perfectly fine with my body. I'm perfectly fine with my face. I don't feel, those things. So, but when people do attack you and you're feeling sensitive, sure, maybe before I started working out and really doing things about myself, when people would say something about my weight, I would feel some kind of way and I would go on the attack. So I think when somebody goes on the attack, it's instantly something that they're definitely serious about and feeling some kind of way about it. And we can't tell him whether he can feel some kind of way or not. He's a human being.
Absolutely. Now, as I mentioned, Blackson would try to, clarify what he meant on Twitter by saying, hey, what I actually was trying to say essentially was that, people are going to love Katt regardless of what he does, whether he smokes crack or fights a 10-year-old. So, Pierre, I want to come to you. Being that Blackson decided to do this on Twitter, do you think it would have been better received if he would have actually picked up the phone to call Katt Williams instead?
It was done out in public. If they're going to sell it in private, if you're going to say something about me in public, I may retaliate with you in public, and then we can settle it after that. But what I'm not going to let you do is you keep, disparaging me, for some bullshit, whatever, BS, and I got to keep quiet about it all the time and just keep calling you up and saying, stop doing it. Pretty soon, it's either going to come to one or two things. Either I'm going to be shut up, someone's going to be quiet about it, or you're going to have to keep that same energy when I see you, and we're going to have to, as they say old time, you got to rearrange some furniture because you're not going to just keep on doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. I just think it's kind of petty when it's just, when people, what I'm saying, just always want to disparage you in public all the time. You know what I'm saying? All the time. Once in a while, the joke here and there, I get it. We're comedians. It's what it is. But if that's your main goal, to constantly push on the negativity of people all the time, man, some people ain't gonna take it for so long. At a certain point, it's gonna be like, all right, enough's enough.
Absolutely. Yeah, Monique.
And let me tell you, if Gary Owen is the legend, I'm coming up.
Let me bring you in on this, Yamanika. What are your thoughts? Do you think, the fact that Blackson decided to do this on Twitter, that it could have been better received if he would have just picked up the phone to call Katt Williams instead?
Well, I agree with Pierre. Once something's done in public, you do it in public. It's like we comics like to clear the stage, right? So wherever it was done, we want to clear it so that it's out in the open. So when people say things like, "Well, it's this people's business and leave their business alone," it's like, well, once we know the business, we all want to see how the business, finishes up. I will say this about Michael Blackson: he is a very sweet person, gentle person, and I don't think he meant any harm. I've never had an opportunity, unfortunately, to meet Katt Williams in person, but I mean, anything that I hear about Katt on behind the scenes is like, he's a fun person. I just think it was a miscommunication, and I think sometimes, like, a couple weeks ago when we were talking about the Aries Spears Tiffany Haddish thing, I made a comment saying that I didn't think Tiffany's elevator went all the way to the top floor. That I meant that. Some people took offense for it. I think Corey Holcrux took one. So I don't know. And he's also somebody that likes to have a lot of beef with people, and he got a problem with this. And I try not to be that type of person. I try to be the person that makes a comment, and I stand on what I said. When I said that about Tiffany, I meant it. Did I mean it in an ill way? No, I meant it to show light in the serious situation when we were talking about child abuse. And I was trying to illuminate to people that I don't think her mind goes into that type of a devious way. And then everybody made their opinions from there. You can't win. The opinion was I was going light on her. Some people thought I was going light on her. Some people thought I was attacking her. How could I be doing both things? So we can't really judge the public opinion sometimes, because people take for face value whatever you say to be true or not true, and whatever your intention may be in your head, sometimes it comes across, sometimes it doesn't, because we're thinking quick, we're talking quick up here. Sometimes you go, damn, I wish I hadn't said that. Or sometimes you go, damn, I wish I went harder. You never know.
Right. Now, it's not new for our show here, especially for me in my time, just seeing that Corey Holcomb does watch the show frequently and always seems to comment on different things that are said here on this platform. Let me ask you, Yamanika, because, there's this sense of, beef isn't new in any industry, whether you're talking about comedy or you're talking about, actors, so on and so forth. But, sometimes an apology may help. Do you think hearing an apology from Corey Holcomb, would be something that you would want for the comments that he did make about you?
I don't need Corey Holcomb's opinion about whether I'm a fat bitch or not, while he's also a fat bitch, that means absolutely nothing to me. Do you understand what I'm saying? And he has a legion of fans that's going to support him no matter what. I can't go back and forth with him. I have people that also going to support me. We're just going to be bumping heads. I think even, listen, aside from whatever Corey may say or not say on stage, he is an artist who is engaging a lot of people who like him, and he has a fan base. For that, he can have the respect that he deserves. How he gets that fan base, by attacking people, I hope that's not the bane of his existence when he's here, because as we get older, we don't want to be doing shit like that. Sometimes that's for young comics who just get in the game and they want to beef. When we start to get in our 40s and 50s and 60s and I don't know, 70s, should we be doing shit like that? Maybe, maybe not. But if that's the audience that you've built that like that kind of stuff, you have to appear to that audience. So I don't need an apology. I say stuff that people probably want an apology from me. When people have asked me for apologies, or I've said something that have really hurt people's feelings behind the scenes, I am somebody that apologizes. People may think that's weak, but that's just something I do, because before I'm anything, I want to make fun and have jokes and be light before I'm on the attack of people. And again, I want to say this, since I'm so long-winded, and I want to clear up something. When we were talking about the Aries Spears thing, I went on a deep dive attack of Ari Spears because Ari Spears is somebody who had no problem berating a woman that nobody asked him his opinion about. And what's so funny is me as a plus size Black woman, whenever I make commentary or comments, I know specifically where people are going to go to attack me because it's easy for them to say certain things to attack me. And this is where we talk about in terms of the double standard. That Ari Spears can come out and say whatever gross shit he wants. He's going to have a toxic group of toxic Samuelites supporting him because he's going up against a woman. But if he was going up against a man, these niggas would have nothing to say. Do you understand what I'm saying? And me in response, doing the same thing to him, being a bully to him as he was to people who nobody asked him about. Now, all of a sudden, I'm being vilified because how dare I go after Ari Spears? So let me clear up a few things for the comments section. And yes, we do be in there, okay? Number one, there is no attraction whatsoever to Ari Spears. Everybody has eyeballs that watch this show, I would promise you. So, you know, if you don't want to fuck with him, you know for sure I don't. And if there's any woman out here who feels like she has to fuck with Ari Spears, please call me. We need to get you some counseling.
Well, I definitely appreciate it. And let me just be clear. Like I said, I know this isn't the first time we've heard Corey Holcomb, you know, having something to say about us. On behalf of myself as well as Comedy Hype, Yamanika, of course, you know, we do fully support you. So that's not a subject that we'll stay on for too long. But moving on, you know, one thing that we do hope, as I mentioned, you know, we hate seeing legends on a certain level, you know, beef. So we kind of want to see them mend different beefs that they do have. And one person that did bring it up was Kevin Hart, who talked about mending his beef with Mike Epps. So Pierre, I'll come back to you. One, we're hoping to see that maybe with Blackson and Katt Williams, but let's talk about, you know, that beef ending between Kevin Hart and Mike Epps. What are your thoughts on that, being that that has now come to an end?
Well, it's great. I mean, if it's really legitimately, you know, they have solved it, that's great. You know, somebody had to be the first person to step up and say, come on, man, enough's enough. And I applaud that person for being big enough to do that. Whoever the other two who did that, I think it's great. So unfortunately, we live in an era that people just love to see beef and problems. And we enjoy it. You know, we eat popcorn and laughing and giggling until something seriously happens to somebody. Then it's, oh, man, shouldn't have went that far. That's some bullshit. We're supposed to keep it a certain way for the level. No, man, you instigated, you liked it, you shared it, you laughed, you enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? These are human beings. At the end of the day, I don't know if you know, the comics are really human beings too. Right? You know, however you want to look at it. Any entertainer is human beings. That's why you see all these young rappers getting killed and shot and stuff. And we eating popcorn, laughing. Oh, he dissed him. He got a gun. He gonna kill his ops and stuff. And now, damn near every day, you open up your cell phone or whatever paper, and somebody's died, or you know whatever it is, and some young rapper has died. And we just, oh, well, yeah, we go on to the next rapper. We go on to the next person, comedian. So I'm glad that, you know, people try to, you know, comics are, why do we need to do that? We, you know, like Yamanika said, we getting old, man. This is ridiculous to constantly be beefing, seriously beefing with somebody. But again, we're in an age of media that likes to see that. And most of the people online are normally under 35 years old who don't have too much going on. You can hit me with the money, you ain't got a house, you ain't got a wife, you ain't got some kids. The majority of these people, they have time to get in that and want to see two people arguing. Well, you don't see nobody 45, 50 years old online acting a fool because they know, you know what, man? You know what I mean? Enjoying it. Man, I got something to do. I got a busy day and it ain't online. And so I'm glad that they squash it. And I hope more comics squash their beef, man, because at the end of the day, we're supposed to be spreading joy and happiness. You know what I'm saying? So.
Absolutely. No, I couldn't agree with you more. Yamanika, let me get your reaction on that as we close out. What's your reaction? You know, Kevin Hart is saying that him and Mike Epps has squashed their beef. Excuse me. What's your reaction to that?
I mean, I think that's great. I mean, Kevin Hart is amazing. Mike Epps is amazing. People have their fan bases. You know what I'm saying? And you're doing well. I think what happens, I just want to say this really quick. I'm more in the mainstream world of comedy. And I'm not saying, I think there should be no differences in terms of comedy. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. But what I will tell you that I noticed there is when the white boys have beef, they don't go to the streets. There's no public announcement about the beefs. They handle each other in the green room and they don't fuck with each other. That shit is serious. Sometimes I think on the Black side, we see there's a beef and then we exploit it because it's funny, and our community also likes to see that back and forth. The difference is, like Pierre said, sometimes that stuff can be dangerous. So when it seeps out into being dangerous, because if you are insecure motherfucker, that's the person that's gonna hurt you, an insecure motherfucker, because they got. So Katt Williams is amazing. Michael Blackson is amazing. I don't think they're gonna come to fisticuffs. Pierre, you're amazing.
Thank you.
I don't think it's going to come to fisticuffs, and I would hope it's not. But also, it is sometimes it is very competitive on our side too, as being Black performers. Sometimes it's only that one. So anytime you feel like somebody's on your level and then they said something that got you, it's like, well, I got to get them because I got to be the GOAT. I think we got too many greats in Black comedy for us to be narrowing our GOAT status down to one, and the other one got to attack the other one to get on top. And that's on us to open our community up to love more of ourselves, because on the white side, you got a bunch of different GOATs on there, and they're not competing about who's greater than the other. They breaking bread, they making business, they making money. I'd like to start seeing us do the same over here.
Absolutely. I think you both make great points. Thank you both for chiming in on this topic and giving your insight on this topic and just understanding, what we want to see moving forward. Now, before we head out, of course, I like to know what you have coming up. So, Pierre, even though you're making me jealous with this jacket you have on, I'm going to start with you. What do you have coming up and how can people follow you?
Oh, it's cold in here. Cold in here. Cold in here. Now, again, supporting the podcast, Pierre's Panic Room on YouTube. Go into Comic Pierre. We got brother Rizza Islam on this week, man. It's the love for the podcast is ridiculous. It comes from Comedy Hype, shows me the love and the people, man. So I appreciate that. I'll get more into some dates. I got some stuff in October. We can talk about that closer to those dates.
Absolutely. And how can people follow you, Pierre?
Oh, at Comic Pierre. That's COMICPIERRE on my platform. So let's do it.
Awesome. Yamanik, I'm going to make sure we get one of those jackets, but coming over to you, what do you have coming up and how can people follow you?
Because I responded back to Corey Holcrux, I will not be telling anybody where I am this week. Fortunately, I'm at a private event, so he can't get there. And again, I'm just going to take my time to say you can follow me at Yamanika. And listen, when we attack, we attack. Like Pierre said, we are human beings. Remember that at the end of the day, we can be sensitive about things. We can get upset about things. But listen, we got to get you. We got to get you. So when you come for us, know we're going to return the favor. See you in the comments.
Absolutely. Well, again, I appreciate you both for chiming in on this topic. Well, you heard from us. Now we want to hear from you in the comments below. What are your thoughts of Katt Williams' alleged response to Michael Blackson? For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
Put it in those comments.
In the comments.
We're going to read down there.
Hi, I'm Symphony Thompson. And one thing that my mama has always told me is, watch your tone, because I'm not one of your little friends. If I'm not alone and you've experienced this as well, like and share this post. And don't forget that you can join our movement by getting your very own My Mama Black hoodie at comedyhype.com/shop. We're in this together.